1800 hours, Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Aisha Nayab. First, the headlines. The Federal Cabinet has approved a Ramadan relief package of 7.8 billion rupees to facilitate common people during the holy month. Presiding over the Federal Cabinet meeting in Islamabad today, Prime Minister said electronic voting machines have become inevitable to ensure transparency in the elections. President has underscored the need for improving commercial, business-to-business and cooperation and cultural relations with Bangladesh. In Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, complete shutdown was observed in Shopaiya and Pulwama districts today against killing of 2 youth and destruction of houses by Indian troops. In India, banking services remained shut for second straight day due to countrywide strike against proposed privatization of 2 public sector banks by Modi government. The United States and Afghanistan have reiterated the call for a political settlement and acceleration of the peace efforts in Afghanistan. And now the news in detail. The Federal Cabinet has approved Ramadan relief package of 7.8 billion rupees on 19 essential items to facilitate the common people during the holy month. Briefing media about the Federal Cabinet's decisions taken in its meeting in Islamabad today with the Prime Minister Imran Khan in the chair, the Minister for Industries and Production Hamad Azhar said the subsidy will be given through the network of utility stores across Pakistan. He said large-scale manufacturing has recorded a growth of 9.1% in January this year. Speaking on the occasion, Minister for Science and Technology Chaudhry Fawad Hussain said the Cabinet ordered forensic audit of the loss-making entities, and in the first phase, forensic audit of 10 such entities will be completed by 30 June. He said it is worth mentioning that 51 out of 85 loss-making state-owned enterprises have become profitable due to prudent policies of the government. Chaudhry Fawad Hussain said the Cabinet also approved issuance of smart cards to Afghan refugees having proof of registration cards to facilitate them and to resolve their problems swiftly. The Minister for Science and Technology said tax exemption was granted on auto-disabled syringes to prevent spread of various diseases. Prime Minister Imran Khan has stressed the need to introduce a track and trace system to avoid massive tax evasion in major sectors such as sugar, cement, fertilizers and tobacco industry. Chairing a meeting of the Federal Cabinet in Islamabad today, he pointed out that the Federal Board of Revenue has been striving to bring this system over the last 15 years, but every time its efforts are sabotaged. He noted that due to tax evasion, we have to rely on indirect taxes, which leads to price hike. On electoral reforms, the Prime Minister said electronic voting machines have become inevitable to ensure transparency in the elections. He said the Cabinet should be regularly updated about the progress made on this objective and also on giving the right of franchise to overseas Pakistanis. The National Security Division is holding the first ever Islamabad Security Dialogue, a 2-day conference from tomorrow to unveil Pakistan's new strategic direction. The conference is aimed at unveiling Pakistan's new strategic direction based on a comprehensive security framework in line with Prime Minister Imran Khan's vision of peace, regional connectivity and development partnerships with the world. It has been organized by the National Security Division in collaboration with its advisory board comprising 5 leading think tanks of the country. Prime Minister Imran Khan will inaugurate the conference, while Army Chief General Qamar Javed Bajwa will be the guest of honor on the second day. At the event, the Prime Minister will also launch the first of its kind advisory portal of the National Security Division. Petroleum prices in Pakistan are currently the lowest in comparison to other countries in the region and the world, which shows government's resolve to provide maximum relief to masses. According to latest statistic, the petroleum prices in Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bangladesh, India, Germany and the United Kingdom are much higher than Pakistan. Petrol prices in Pakistan is $0.7 US, while in India it is $1.26 US, China $1.03, Nepal $0.95, Bangladesh $1.05, Sri Lanka $0.83, Germany $1.64 and UK $1.70. The government is focusing on welfare of the people while determining the petroleum prices in the country. Hence, Prime Minister Imran Khan has already rejected the summary for revision of petrol prices for 3 times in a row. This is Radio Pakistan. President Dr. Arif Alvi has underscored the need for improving commercial and cultural relations with Bangladesh. Talking to the Pakistan's High Commissioner to Bangladesh, Imran Ahmed Siddiqui, who called on him in Islamabad today, the President said Pakistan highly values its ties with Bangladesh. He said Pakistan wants to further expand cooperation by using the existing bilateral mechanisms, including political consultations at a foreign secretary level and joint economic commission. The President asked the High Commissioner to work for improving bilateral ties between the two countries. He emphasized the need to enhance commercial relations, business-to-business cooperation and people-to-people contacts for the mutual benefit of the two countries. In Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, complete shutdown was observed in Shopaiya and Pulwama district against the killing of 2 youth and destruction of houses by Indian troops. The troops martyred the youth after they blasted house with explosive material during a violence coordinated search operation at Rawalpura in Shopaiya district. All shops and business establishments were closed while public transport remained off the road in the district. Meanwhile, Muttahida Majlis-e-Ulma, headed by Mir Waiz Umar Farooq at an emergency meeting in Badagam today, discussed the situation caused by the recent act of a RSS pawn, Wasim Rizvi. The participants of the meeting, chaired by senior APHC leader and the president of Anjume Sharia Shayan, Agha Sayyid Hassan Al-Musawir Al-Safai, termed the petition filed by Rizvi in the Indian Supreme Court seeking omission of 26 verses of the Holy Quran as a deliberate attempt to hurt the religious sentiments of the billion of Muslims across the world and to stoke sectarian violence. A protest demonstration of Muslims, Sikhs and Dalits led by Jammu and Kashmir People's Movement chairman Mir Shahid Salim was staged in Jammu against blasphemous remarks of Indian citizen Wasim Rizvi. Moreover, a report released by Kashmir Media Service today said that religious minorities, particularly Muslims and Christians, are under constant threat in India. In India, banking services across the country remain shut down for the second straight day today in wake of a countrywide strike against the proposed privatization of 2 public sector banks and retrograde banking reforms. According to United Forum of Bank Union, nearly 1 million bank employees participated in the protest and abstained from work. The bank employees took to streets across several states and raised slogans urging the government to stop privatization of banks. United States and Afghanistan have reiterated their call for a political settlement and acceleration of the peace efforts in Afghanistan. The Afghanistan Presidential Palace said in a statement that the U.S. Special Envoy Zalmay Khalilzad discussed the peace process with Afghan leadership, including President Ashraf Ghani and Abdullah in Kabul. Khalilzad briefed President Ghani on his recent trips and activities and discussed the next steps in the peace process. Palestine has welcomed the recent effort of some Arab and European countries to create an atmosphere for peace with Israel. Talking to media in Ramallah, a spokesman of the Palestinian president, Nabil Abu Rudhainar, stressed that Munich Group is not an alternate to the Middle East Quartet, comprising the United Nations, the European Union, the United States and Russia. He said the Palestinian side welcomes the expansion of the Middle East Quartet and hoped that some Arab and European countries will be included in it. The European Union has reached a deal to accelerate the delivery of 10 million doses of the Pfizer-BioNTech coronavirus vaccine to member states. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen said in a statement in Brussels that the doses would be moved forward from the bloc third quarter order and arrive before July. And finally, the weather. Mainly dry weather is likely to prevail in most areas of the country during the next 24 hours. However, isolated rain and thunderstorm with snowfall over high mountains is expected in Upper Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Gilgit-Baltistan. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analysis, log on to our website radio.gov.pk and also watch live video streaming of our bulletin on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.